Zambia, good evening, Africa, and warm welcome to the analysis program right here on KBN TV from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka, with me, Innocent Piri. And of course, I have in the studio a team of analysts who are here to help me discuss a number of stories that have made headlines during the course of last week. So for those that maybe think you were out of the country, welcome back home. And this is the KBN TV, the finest television, where we discuss issues without fear nor favor. Allow me to introduce the guest I have, as usual, on set. We've got Pastor Kenneth Mambwe, or simply PK. Welcome, PK, and good evening to you.
Good evening, IP, and good evening to our dear esteemed viewers. It's always an honor to be here with them.
Great. And the ambassador is in the building.
I thought you would say Anthony.
No, I'm coming there. Don't worry. I'm coming there. We've got Ambassador Anthony Mkwita, or Anthony Mkwita, depending on how your tongue will guide you. Welcome, Ambassador, and good evening to you.
IP, the host with the most. It's ever great to be hosted by you every Sunday evening, including our viewers, both here in Zambia and beyond, and to be with this wonderful team of the pastor and the analyst. I thank you.
All right, finally, we've got the speech analyst in Mike Sichula. Welcome, Mr. Sichula, and good evening to you.
Good evening, IP, and good evening to our dear viewers. I can't believe it, like we said in the background, that it is the 1st of February 2026. And we want to thank the Lord for the protection in the past month. And we are looking forward for His mercy and provision in the new month. And good evening to my fellow panelists.
Fantastic. Let's get into it. Of course, remember the program is live on DSTV channel 279, GoTV channel 27, and also Topsa Decoder channel 102. You can follow the conversation via our social media platforms. That's our KBN TV Facebook page, as well as YouTube. But remember that good things have happened during the course of the week, especially as we are concluding the month of January. Better things have happened. And if I were you, I would have said, let's clap hands for the government, the Newton government, for reducing the petroleum products prices in a fuel as well as petrol in that regard. Something nice, something good that I know that you've been waiting for, all of you, including ourselves. Let's begin from here, gentlemen. Let's talk about the ERB having reduced the petroleum product in terms of the pricing. PK, what do you make of this big story, an interesting story, I'll call it myself?
IP, anything that gives a Zambian citizen some level of breathing space is welcome. The question is, how sustainable is this? As you know, for the past four years to 5 years now, the ERB has had this policy of reviewing petroleum product prices on a monthly basis.
Correct.
So the question is, this good news that you have talked about, by the way, is just a two-kwacha.
Yeah.
How sustainable is it? And for you actually to even feel the reduction, you probably have to be someone who is putting in a full tank. That's when you can feel the discounts of those two kwachas. But if you are going to put 300 kwacha, 400 kwacha, 500 kwacha, you won't even feel it. However, it's commendable. Whatever the permutations, whatever triggered it, we only hope that they can sustain it. I mean, we said it previously when people were talking about reduction in load shedding hours.
Correct.
That we are going towards an election, and a lot of things are going to be reducing. Fuel inclusive, not because the kwacha has appreciated, not because of anything, but one way or the other, the government will find a way of stabilizing the pricing. They'll probably talk about our foreign reserves now are looking good. They'll find some justification because we're going towards an election. So load shedding will ease, fuel prices will ease, and a lot more other things. But these cosmetic reductions are not good if they are only meant to hoodwink the voters. We would be more happy to applaud the government if they begin to reduce these things based on economic stability and fundamentals falling in place. But if it is cosmetic because there's an election coming, I beg to differ that maybe we are clapping too soon, and this may not be sustainable in the long run.
Interesting. Maybe, Ambassador, should we remember there's that formula introduced by the Vice President, increase in order to reduce. Maybe this is where we are now. Your take over this.
Well, IP, that was one of the most outlandish political statements I ever heard that being uttered by a very senior government official. But I will, at the expense of monotony, just ride onto Pastor's statements, and that people should be aware out there of being quietly hoodwinked. The members say, kunakirira. So we are in an election year, so which is send up my elections. Who wins the elections? And who is giving something? It's a give and take.
Wow.
It's a charm competition. So if electricity was expensive and we have 6 months before elections, by the way, thanks for reminding us that today is February 1. I can't believe that in 5 days' time my son Lubinda will be turning 21 years old and third year in university.
Wow.
You're just reminding me, your nephew.
But I thought you were going to, I thought you were going to say in 13 days I have to look for flowers for E.
For the
Valentine's.
For the Valentines. Yeah, that has become like standard on the calendar, like clockwork. So it actually just happens mechanically sometimes. But you know, a young guy turning 21,
Yeah.
I can feel myself aging. I'm sure PK, you can now see my gray beard.
I can relate.
You can relate. Anyhow, at the expense of monotony, I think the pastor has already cleared it. This is a competition time, so lots of people will be wanting to offer a lot of things. For me, my concern, IP, is the fact that instead of the tungwe that has been reduced, the promise was to reduce fuel to about 12
kwacha.
It hasn't been done. So come and talk to me when you reduce it to 12 kwacha. The promise was to have 24/7 electricity, because that is what happens in Dubai, where there is no electricity, and that has not happened. The promise was to give Zambians, the peasant farmers that feed us, a lot more fertilizer. I think it was 8 bags that was thrown around all over the map. But at the moment I hear they get only about a meda. So for me, if the current administration want to find a smoother way or smoother path towards getting a Chisende Chikunkoko, they have to look at all these other fundamentals: the electricity, the fuel, the milli-mill. It hasn't been reduced, has it?
No.
As the president, my beloved cousin, will say, they have reduced. Or maybe they haven't told you yet. Eh? They haven't. And then my other cousin will come in and say, as it were. Whom you had, IP? The Mr. Bombastic. Yeah, Cornelius Mwetu. So as it were, you tell Mukwita not to be talking about prices. This shall be reduced once we get some of these challenges in between. So I think that's where.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. All right, let's hear from our comrade's speech and your take over this issue.
I think what Ambassador and PK have said is very fundamental, because the challenge we have had is Zambians and other stakeholders, the manufacturers. You talk about the people that are transporting this fuel. They have always called on the Zambian government that can we have not a 1 month price review model, but push it to a quarterly system, which the Zambian government has been promising people without giving people what they want. So the sustainability, like PK is saying, is what a lot of people are expecting, because we do not know, maybe this is for political reasons, or next month we are going to change. So sustainability is something that is key, because businesses operate on long-term planning. They don't plan for a month. because you
Yeah.
need to plan for maybe 4 months, quarterly, you do another quarter. So if the price is fluctuating, changing, it doesn't give sustainability, and predictability is something that we all need. However, I want to speak to this issue to say what has happened in the last 5 years, Zambians. It is something that as we go towards the elections, we need to look at these political parties and their manifestos critically. Remember, we were promised that once we come into office, the price of fuel is going to reduce. So now we are going into an election period. These politicians are going to come again to give us promises. So we all have we have a lesson from the past in before 2021. They told us that this is going to be reduced because what the PF were selling you, they had middlemen and so on and so forth. But when we come in, the price is going to reduce further from 17 kwacha to about 4 kwacha. This has not happened.
Yeah.
It now tells you that sometimes these politicians that come to us, they do not speak from the point of understanding. They speak from the point of just making you vote for them. So when we are going towards the elections, when they come back to us, let us begin to ask critical questions. When a politician says, I'm going to do this, let also the politicians avail citizens, the members of the press, enough time to ask critical questions, to say, sir, you have said the price of mini meal is going to reduce to 150 kwacha. How are you going to do it? And those answers should be provided to avoid the situation that we are currently in, because we were promised that the price of fuel is going to reduce. So I do not expect even press singers, including President Taka in the Ichirema, to begin to tell me to say, you do not understand how government operates. Because it means even him, he didn't know and he did not understand how government operates. So he promised without understanding how government operates.
Right. All right, that's our first story we have on our menu this evening. And of course, if you've just joined us, I have PK in the studio as well as Ambassador Mokuita, being, of course, flanked by Comrade Speech Analyst. Now, let's look at the second story this evening. We'll look at the Kawe High Court holds a PF faction injunction. Now, the story that, of course, came out during the course of the weeks that the Kawe High Court has upheld an injunction earlier granted in favor of PF leader Robert Chawinga, is training the given Lubinda faction from proceeding with its planned convention. Kawe High Court judge in charge, Kelvin Limbani, delivered the ruling stating that the injunction would remain in force to prevent potential irreparable damage to the Patriot Front. Judge Limbani ruled that the court's decision was necessary to safeguard the party from action that could cause lasting harm. Meanwhile, the Kawe High Court judge has granted PF Secretary General Morgan Ngona leave to commence contempt proceedings against the given Lubinda PF faction should it proceed with a planned convention. Their decision follows an earlier injunction issued in November last year, which restrained the Lubinda PF faction from presenting itself as party leadership, from announcing a roadmap towards a convention until further notice. The court further ordered the faction to vacate the PF secretariat pending further determination of the matter. Additionally, the court directed that during the period under review, faction leaders must not use PF letterheads, issue receipts in the name of the party, or wear party regalia. That's the story we have this evening for discussion. Let's begin from here. PK, their statement and also the ruling coming from the Kawe High Court. What do you make of this and the happenings in the Patriot Front?
The issue surrounding PF, I do not think they are going to end anytime soon. There are matters that will go and stretch way beyond the election, which is why you remember IP way back on this program, we advised from the days of United Kwacha Alliance. If you remember, we were highly in support of the introduction of the United Kwacha Alliance. We thought that that provided a smart escape route to deal with the wrangles within the PF. But every time we sit here, people clap for us if what we say resonates with them. When we give them advice that in their own estimation is contrary to their aspiration, they will label Ambassador Mkwita, they will label Comrade Mike Stula, they will label you, they will label me. But we have been very, yes, we've been very consistent on this matter. So to read that judgment, I'm not surprised. It is not surprising at all. And this issue is not ending anytime soon. We will go into election. The only PF that might be on the ballot is the PF from Chavinga.
That's if he's got intentions.
If he has intentions, but he has already announced that that party will back the UPND. So if that is the desire, then we do not see the reason why PF must be on the ballot. And also the timing of this ruling and the Lusaka ruling that gave Mao Sampa, you know, the right to remain as member of parliament. There has been some bit of contradictories, you know, when you look at that and when you look at what has come out of Kabwe. So it's very unfortunate that the PF have found themselves in this quandrum, what the ambassador would say, quandrum.
Or quandary.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate.
What's a contradictory? I think you need to be clear on that.
So
between the Mao Sampa ruling
yes,
and the Kabwe.
So the expectation from most people who understand the legal jargon was that the ruling that went the Mao Sampa way, you would have expected that even Kabwe would also be ruled in favor of the Mao Sampa given Lubinda. That was very key, because if that ruling in Kabwe had gone the Mao Sampa given Lubinda route, it meant that there was some possibility then of these guys going to a convention using the PF Ligaria communication, letterheaded, all of those things. It was going to give them the latitude to go to a convention and legally and lawfully so. But in the absence of that, that is where the contradictory. Remember, the characters in both cases are the same. The ngongas, the players are the same, but the judgments are different. So those are some of the issues that many people are beginning to raise, that this might stretch on until way past the election.
Correct. Let's hear from Ambassador, your submission over this matter.
My submission over this matter, as a Shakespearean follower and a student of literature, I will pull out a line for you, IP, our host with the most, and this is from Mark Anthony, my namesake, who comes in and says, today I come here not to praise Caesar, but to bury him. Caesar was a great man, as his friend Brutus has said, but the evil that men do follow them to their graves, while the good gets rotten along with the bones. So what I'm simply saying is I'm going to repeat the same thing that we said last week with the speech analyst here. I said, if I know and I read the Zambian politics as well as I should at this time and age, Chabinga will not give Brother Brian Mundubile, he will not give Brother Given Lubinda, he will not give anybody aspiring to be president for the Patriotic Front to run in the next 6 months. And I also prophesied, I think maybe because of the proximity with the pastor, that in Kabwe they will rule against the case against the Patriotic Front.
Said, right,
I said, I think this, but what might happen, but if you play back the tape, the speech analyst said, I know that's what will happen. And that's what happened.
That.
He said, I know that's what will happen. So I don't know whether the speech analyst has been talking to the judge there.
Only in South Africa.
Beyond South Africa. Not here.
Not in Zambia.
So I don't know whether the speech analyst knows something that we don't know, but I think it's because of our knowledge as students of Zambian politics. We knew and we know, one, the Chabinga PF was designed to take away the real patriotic front and to deny it from my big brother who given Lubinda, to deny it from Jean the Baptist, Jean Kapata, and all these other guys. So I ask again, like I have done in the past 3 weeks, since the elephant called Brian Mundubile came into our political speech, because they say so it's like Brian Mundubile, Honorable Mundubile, the lawmaker for Mporokoso, has become the elephant in the room, because not a day is going by in the patriotic front or in the ruling UPND without his name coming up. I ask again something that I had asked below. You are expelling yesterday Brian Mundubile and a number of members of parliament that have shown support for him.
I want to curtail you a bit, because
Please.
there's a topic around that.
All right.
So don't preempt.
No. Then I can stop
submit.
there.
You can submit.
Yeah. So my submission is, briefly, because I also know that you want me to be brief. My submission is, let Brian run his race. If there is any advice worth my salt which I would give if I was as big or humongous or omnipotent to the patriotic front, it would be the best thing that you have right now is for you to work together rather than create a circus where every evening there is a new game coming up. Who is the prettiest of them all? Mirror on the wall. You are providing a stage for people to simply laugh and start wondering. The pastor here once said, again on this, we've learned a lot from what we say. We have to remember what we say. The pastor said, if the people, if the patriotic front, if the rest of the teams do not make up their minds on whom they want to rule apart from Brian Mundubile, the people will make a decision for them. Now, I am looking straight into your eyes and say, do you want the people to make a decision for you because you are looking a gift horse in the mouth?
Thank you so much. Let's hear from our speech analyst, the judgment coming from the Kawe High Court. What does it mean? The PF have been, restricted or restrained from a number of issues. The PF Secretariat using the PF regalia letterheads, among other things. What do you make of that?
Okay, let me. I know I'm not supposed to ask questions because I'm supposed to respond to your questions. we have Mr. Robert Charinga, who is does the same ruling apply to Charinga, for instance? Because Charinga is said to be the leader of the opposition, and I don't know what letterheads will be using when he goes to parliament, because the judgment says none of these factions should use PF regalia, PF letterheads until the matter is concluded. So I do not know how that is going to apply for Mr. Charinga, who, as leader of the opposition in parliament, he needs to communicate with the Speaker of the National Assembly using the letterheads of the party that has sponsored him. So I do not know how that law is going to apply to him as a leader of the opposition. Now, moving away from that, I want to believe that our viewers out there, they understand this adage that is always said by politicians to say, even especially government agencies, they will say, we work with the government of the day. So in this same vein, to me, the way the judgments have been passed out, as Speaker was trying to explain, in Lusaka, we had a different judgment against Morgan Ngona, who in Kabwe, he picked a favorable judgment, but so when you put these two cases on the scale, it creates a situation where people now begin to say, I think this is justice for hire, where there's a pattern of how judgments are passed in order to favor a certain narrative. What is the narrative that I'm talking about? I'm talking about the narrative of where the judgments should do squeeze the judgments that matter most should squeeze the PF, that the PF should not resurrect back to their old self. Because look, the PF in the last 4 years, they have been fighting this legal battle that they should get the papers to them, especially the given Lubinda faction. But as many people have explained, how is it that the judiciary has refused to hand over certain judgments in favor of the faction that does not represent Robert Chavinga? Robert Chavinga has been getting favorable judgments, which are not something that the Zambians are looking forward to when you put these things on the scale. So the judiciary is not far from what the police says to say we work with the government of the day. Even the judiciary today, they work with the government of the day. We can clearly see, but who is going to put the judiciary to task? Because when the judiciary is critically analyzed, people begin to say, no, you don't need to attack the judges or the magistrates because they cannot defend themselves. But here are the judgments that are just speaking contrary to each other, but they are representing one political organization, which in this case is the PF. Do we know what this judgment has done? This judgment has made PF members across the country to be without a political party. And we are heading towards the election. They do not know what legalia they are going to use. So you are kind of like undermining the democratic values where citizens have got the right to belong to a political party of their choice. They have got the right to use a legalia of the political party of their choice. But now what the Kawe judgment has said is, the Kawe court case has said is that all PF members should not attend a political meeting called by their members in their regalia. That is something that is affecting their rights of belonging to a party of their choice.
Right. Let's move on to another story now. Look at the third story in this regard. The Mprokoso Member of Parliament, Honorable Brian Mundubile, who is also now the Tonse Alliance President, was last week on Wednesday elected as the Tonse Alliance President. These are some of the activities which are characterized as of Wednesday last week. Remember earlier there was a statement which had been issued through its spokesperson, the Tonse spokesperson, in Dr. Lawrence Mwerwa, that the Tonse had postponed the convention which was supposed to take place on the 28th of January. However, within 48 hours before the 28th of January, we did see the Tonse electing Honorable Brian Mundubile, one of the presidential candidates in the Patriotic Front. Let's just look at some of the highlights from the transmission on the screen, and later on I'll allow my three analysts to dive into the conversation.
I am ever conscious that the Tonse Alliance is a convergence of different political ideologies. But instead of creating a jarring, discordant symphony, the leaders who have been elected together with me today will compose a unifying melody that leads us back to our national creed and motto, One Zambia, One Nation. God knows how this country has suffered under this deeply divisive government. We can't wait to unify Zambia again and drive it to prosperity that is all-inclusive and not just for a few chosen ones. There is plenty of room in the real Tonse tent, and I humbly invite every citizen and party, including my fellow PF members, to join other patriotic parties, NGOs, and citizens in the alliance and movement. There is no time to divide the country any further and sacrifice its prosperity at the altar of political egos and selfishness. What we lack is the luxury of time. We have a mountain of work to do.
All right, thank you so much. That is Honorable Brian Mundubile, who has been declared as the Tonse Alliance president. PK, let's begin from there again. A lot of drama, a lot of political activities happened last week.
One of the things I've come to know, IP, following and analyzing politics in this country or elsewhere, is that you need to learn how to read the mood. You need to learn to predict the momentum and where the wind might be blowing towards. And unfortunately, it's so painful to see veteran politicians, because of sentimental value and proximity to personal interests, get to be so engrossed in the moment and fail to see where things are shifting, where things are moving to. As Ambassador would say, they are asking a question at one point, who moved my cheese? Because we were together.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be rocking the same boat. How come you are there and I am here? This is what I perceive is likely to happen. Let me break it plainly. You have one faction saying what they have done is illegal. Therefore, we have expelled them. And then you have another camp saying we don't have time. We have to act, and we have to act swiftly. So who is coming? IP, are you coming? Ambassador, are you coming? Who is coming? So what you see are two contradictions. In one camp, they are scattering. In the other camp, they are gathering.
They're chasing members.
Yes. Because if you can expel 14 or over 14 senior members in one go, you are literally scattering, because every
Including
single one,
Parliament, right?
yes, every single one of the 14 has got a following.
Indeed.
And then if you have expelled them, you are actually sending them in one corner. So literally, that corner, that receiving corner, is gathering. Where they're being expelled, that is the corner that is scattering. And the question for an ordinary observer, an ordinary member of PF, would be saying, where must I belong? Where they are scattering, or where they are
United.
they are gathering? The answer is for everyone to think through. I'm not going to be prescriptive here. But here is one challenge to these two camps. What they should actually be doing is working together, not drifting apart. Between them, no one qualifies to call the other one illegal, because they are facing the same court rulings that have said this is injunction, you can't do this. Which is why when I read the thing that Nakonde, is it Iksoka, Member of Parliament, Nakonde, what he has written, he actually says, if you have expelled me, send a letter to me on a PF letterhead and sign it.
Illegal.
Yes, and all he is saying is what you have done is illegal and it's against the ruling of the court
High Court.
in Kabwe.
And the signatory.
Yeah, if Mr. Lubinda cannot, or Jean Kapata cannot send a letter to any of the 14 with a signature on a letterhead, then their so-called expulsion has got no limbs on which to stand. So both sides should not call this one is legal, we are the legal one. No. What they should be saying is how can we collaborate and how can we work together. But as I said, reading the mood is what is key, and knowing where the wind is blowing is what is key. Should you belong to where they are gathering, or should you belong to where they are scattering?
Ambassador.
You know, after so many words of wisdom from the pastor, it's usually very hard to proceed. But I will simply repeat what he has said.
Then,
In bits and pieces,
yeah.
there's only 3 months remaining before filing nominations. So that is the horse that is already bolting out of the barn. So what are you going to concentrate on as this faction of the Patriotic Front, the once mighty Patriotic Front? Are you going to concentrate on punishing each other and expelling each other, or you're going to concentrate on getting together and say, let us find peace and unity and move forward? There is a Lozi song, I think it's actually the national anthem, Lufelizelindwa ni Masendeo, meaning we have stopped the disunity and the fighting. Mulena Vulukas Chahesu, Lufelizelindwa ni Masendeo. God protect our country, and you know. So you thought I only speak Bemba?
I didn't know that. You're quite fluent in Lozi.
Somebody once said, how did you know how to speak Lozi?
I am lonely.
It's true. Some Lozi said, no way, get out of here. Anyhow,
Well,
so two things, because like I've said, the pastor has already really clarified this.
Yeah.
Do you want to work with Honorable Brian Mundubile, who seems to have an organized pack of people behind him? Or do you want to be with a camp that is going to continue dismantling and tearing each other apart? He has said, well, if you don't want me, I am going to move on. There are special purpose vehicles I can use. Apart from FDD, there are 7 others. I think he was saying that succinctly and poignantly on the program with Pastor Kennedy Mambo, and on another one on a Christian Voice, that we have options for a special purpose vehicle because we have run out of time. We got to move sharp. Either you are on or out. Noah was building the ark, wasn't he? And he was telling people, jump in. That's where the pastor says, you got to know the timing and you got to smell the tea. You got to read the mood. So for some of us here, we just give this bold, analysis. Are you going to continue fighting for the cheese and looking for where it has moved? Or you are going to say, let's move with the cheese? There is 3 months for IP remaining. And for us, a strong opposition, that's our only dog in this fight. It's very, very important for democracy to have a strong opposition. What we are seeing is not good at all. As Trump would say, not really very good. No, it's not good. I don't like it.
Not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. You know, whether you like me, whether you don't like me, but it's not looking good. And there's never been a better president than me in the entire history of the world.
that's Trump for you.
So that's the nutshell.
You're a bad reporter.
Where are you from? ABC News. Fake news. Fake news. Can we have somebody else? Yeah. So that's that. The host with the most, IP. I am just walking back into the footsteps of the pastor here.
Right.
Are you going to remain in a disastrous,
Congregation.
fragmented congregation, or are you going to move with people who have said, we don't have time? I asked last time we had like, we will be told on January 12th.
Yeah.
Remember
exactly.
Yasichon?
Yeah.
Huh?
I do remember.
Say, we said
There'll be something. They said
something. So,
what?
for instance, from yesterday, what is going to happen now? Next, we're gonna keep watching this game. Time is running. President Hakainde Hichilema and his friends are enjoying. They're sitting up there.
Of course.
Watch them kill each other instead of uniting so that they can provide a strong opposition to us. Looks like this is going to be a cakewalk.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from Comrade Mike Sichula, the election of Brian Mundubile as Tonse Alliance president.
Well, it's something that when he went to pay, he paid 50,000 kwacha to stand as chairperson. I already saw that he had high chances of him getting that seat, and he has gotten that seat because I did speak to it the other day to say, in inverted commas, he was doing something that is unruly in inverted commas, because today, as we speak, he has been expelled from the PF. So meaning, whatever he was doing, whatever he's been up to, the other faction of the PF are not happy with him, and they want to do everything possible to frustrate him. But Mr. Mundubile does not look to be that kind of a person at the pace that he has reached, that is going to be frustrated by any political bad messaging about him. Because look where he's coming from. He's coming from a background where he was reluctant to come into the main arena to say, okay, I can vie for president. He was very reluctant, even when a lot of people were pointing at him to say, Mr. Mundubile, why don't you jump in? So now that he has jumped in, Mr. Mundubile does not look like someone who is looking back, because he doesn't want to turn into salt. He's heading ahead. So it is something that the other faction of the PF should be reality to that fact, that Mr. Mundubile, whether we like it or not, whether he will stand, if maybe peradventure, but I did prophesy the other day that the PF will not be given back to the original owners. Mr. Mundubile is going to be on the ballot come August 13th, because he is cruising, he's cruising in at such a great speed, and him being elected and also being expelled from the other end, it simply shows that there are certain people who, when we look at them, we say they have got political experience. But they are now showing us that they do not have, they do not understand how the mood is on the ground. Because the mood on the ground is pointing in a certain direction, but them, they want to use their political experience of having served in government, of having these positions in the PF. They are not using those positions to the benefit of the PF. As PK has said, if on one hand, what it means, if you expel a member of parliament, they'll stop contributing those finances they contribute to the political party. So meaning you, as the people that are expelling them, you have lost out on membership, you have also lost out on financial. Because what we need to know is that to run a successive political campaign, you need every coin. So who are these people that are going to pump in coins? These are the same members of parliament you are chasing to go and condense somewhere. And where they will condense, they'll probably pump in a lot of money, and in the end, we do not know what is going to happen. Because there are a lot of indicators that I would want to highlight, but I think there's a specific topic.
Correct.
Because there are indicators out there to show that actually, if we are united, we can yield better results than we have done so far.
All right, let's get into it. So we go now to story number 4. We'll look at the given Lubinda's camp expelling 14 senior members, over senior members of as regards to Tonse. That's another story that we need now to specifically deal with it. Honorable given, Brian Mundubile, among others, have been expelled. Now, just a quick highlight of those that may be facing this expulsion, of reported expulsion coming from Honorable given Lubinda and the team. We have Honorable Brian Mundubile himself, Honorable Stephen Kampyongo, former Home Affairs Minister, who is also a Shwangandu Member of Parliament. We've got Honorable Lucas Simumba Nakonde member, Nakonde Central Member of Parliament. We also have Honorable Francis Robert Kapyanga, Mpika Central Member of Parliament. We've got Ambassador Jafen Mwakalombe, former Chongwe Member of Parliament. We have Honorable Davis Mwila, former Davis Chisopa, who is a Member of Parliament as well. And also Honorable Mtotwe Kafaya, former Transport Minister, who is Lunte MP currently. We also have Honorable Melestiana Chiwe. There is also Honorable Emmanuel Tembo Ferra, Member of Parliament. We also have Honorable Lazarus Chungu, and also Abiud Kawangu. We also have Honorable Mwila Yumba, and also we've got Honorable Daniel Mwango, and finally there is Mr. Luka Monda. These are some of the people who have been expelled from the Patriotic Front. Let's look at, maybe we just watch a video of Honorable Given Lubinda and also Madam Jean Kapat in that regards. And then from there, I'll allow my analysts rather, to dive into the submissions.
Opposition party unity in Zambia. This is a day that God himself ordained. He had selected and set this day apart. It is a very significant day because we have received reaffirmations of membership to the Tonse by particularly members who are not only ordinary members of Tonse, but founding members of Tonse. All those who reaffirmed their membership to Tonse in their introductions did mention the fact that they were founding members of the Tonse Alliance. Today is also a monumental day because this is a day when you are rekindling the spirit of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. This is exactly what Edgar Chagwa Lungu did. When President Edgar Chagwa Lungu returned to active politics on the 28th of October 2023, his first call was a clarion call to all members of the opposition. And he did make it clear that no single opposition political party must bask in the illusion that they can form government alone. He called upon all opposition political parties to unite. Even when he was on his deathbed, Edgar Chagwa Lungu's dream was opposition party unity. We must shun all those whose intentions, whether deliberate or inadvertent, are leading towards opposition division. Those who are working against opposition unity in the interest of self-serving goals must be shunned upon. Those of you who have given yourselves to serve must also be willing to humble yourselves before others. You cannot possibly aspire to lead a country if you yourself are not able to submit to others. As a servant leader, you submit to the people you serve. And if you're willing to submit to the people you serve, you must also be prepared to be led. Yes, indeed, like the national chairperson of the PF has said, there is and has never been any entity referred to as the ECL PF political movement. President Edgar Chagwa Lungu died as president of one political party, the Patriotic Front. Even on his grave, it shall be engraved that this here is second president of PF. No more, no less. When the Tonse agreed to work with the Patriotic Front, all members, including those who reaffirmed their membership today, subscribed to the 14 rules of engagement. Those 14 rules of engagement were crafted and adopted by the Central Committee of one political party, the PF. There was never a time when this creature called ECLPF political movement ever engaged the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front, because it never existed.
That are pretending and forming entities that we don't know. They have since formed a movement called ECLPF movement. Such a movement has never existed. It's never there, it has never been there. And I just want to tell them, please respect His Excellency Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu, even in his death. Please don't pretend like you were the best of the best when you were just an employee, when you are not even a politician. Today you want to claim that you are the one who is leading this movement. So that movement does not exist, and as far as we are concerned as PF, we have no such movement as ECLPF movement. Amen. It's a lie. You try to lure people, but not everybody. People know where Edgar left the power of instrument. We all know. We all know. Until we get to a convention, until we get to a convention and choose a leader, the one that remains a leader today is Honorable Given Lubinda, and nobody else. The rest of you are just masquerading, and we are asking you to stop it immediately. You don't stop. We shall take you on physically if it takes us to do that. So, thank you very much. The new parties that have come on board, the old parties, the NCSOs, we receive you with our two hands. Please let's unite and save the Zambian people out there. People are worried at the rate we are going as opposition. I want to take this opportunity to call upon, when I was coming, I'm very happy that I was called by Honorable Harry Kalaba. He says, please, that was the message to you, Mr. President. He spoke to me and told me, please, make sure you come up with a leader, do your convention. Immediately after the convention, please, we are on board. We have also, we don't want to fight over the issue of presidency. Let us meet together and come up with one leader so that that was the message coming from Honorable Kalaba. I want to call upon SP through their president, what's his name again? Fred Membe. I want to call upon KBF to come on board. Let's work together. What the Zambian people are looking for is not any superstar. They are looking at us so that we unite together and come up with one candidate. And I can assure you, people of Zambia, that we will soon give you one candidate that is going to represent the opposition. But who just want to be president, come rain, come sunshine. Yes. We wish you well. Thank you very much.
Begin from there, Pike.
I'd be very unfortunate developments, these ones that we are discussing here, because with 3 months to nomination,
Yes, yes. February, March, April.
You can't have
May.
The PF, which is supposed to be the largest opposition party, to be in this kind of a mess. Now, for people who haven't followed this, these developments must be understood from this context. You have Tonse Alliance, a collection of different political parties and individuals, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations. They are saying we have to move, but for us to move, the anchor party must be part and parcel of the decision.
Yeah.
What happens? The anchor party is fighting in court, day in, day out. The rest of the stakeholders are saying, wait a minute, will we sit here and wait for PF to finish its legal battles for us to make a move? Then they said, hell no. I think we'll be doing the Zambian people a disservice if we are going to be hijacked by the internal struggles and
the
wrangles of the PF for us to come and determine which way we should go. So what is the best course of action? Let's amend
The Constitution.
the Constitution. The Constitution said PF shall be the anchor party. It is now no longer the anchor party,
Which is a good procedure.
which is a good procedure.
Yeah.
On that score, you tick. Kwenyu.
Correct.
The second issue
Yeah.
is this. Chavinga says is the president of PF, and Ngonga is the recognized Secretary General, even as you can tell by the court documents.
Yeah.
So, what about the given Lubinda? They are also claiming they are the legitimate owners of the PF. But must we act on rumors or hearsay, or must we act on what is legally plausible? What is legally plausible is that PF is in the hands of Chavinga. Therefore, Chavinga has publicly said they are going to support the government of the day. So you cannot go to bed with an enemy. Chavinga ultimately becomes an enemy of the Tonse alliance. How do you divorce yourselves from there? Is to say we expel the PF from the alliance. At that stage, the Lubinda camp should have said there is sense in this. We are PF, but we don't belong to Chavinga. We belong to Tonse. So must we be siding with the Tonse alliance decisions, or must we be siding with the PF decisions? By virtue of them saying what you have done is illegal, they are saying we are the true PF owners, but the law has not pronounced itself to who are the true PF owners. And if PF is the reason Tonse is failing to move, divorce PF and let everyone in PF become citizens and not look at themselves through the colors of the political party. And that is what the Brand Mundubile and Tonse Alliance have done, is to say we divorce ourselves from the antagonism that have rocked the PF.
And level the playing field.
We level the playing field. We look at ourselves as citizens and migrate into this vehicle that is called Tonse Alliance. We will choose a special purpose vehicle. The other camp, in my view, has failed to see the sense in this, because it looks like, Brian Mundubile and his team, they are power hungry. Brian Mundubile and his team, they are very ambitious. They are indisciplined. You are calling them indisciplined without having to look through what informed that decision. If they can come down honestly to the bottom line of why that decision was made, today, both Brand Mundubile camp and the Lubinda camp should be sitting together and say, gentlemen, what must we
90
do?
days.
90 days. And I can tell you, as a speech analyst had said there, right now, there is no funder who is going to fund a political party that wants to go into a campaign without a structure, without formalizing itself, without leadership. So anyone who is hoping that money will begin to flow in a particular direction, and again here we like to make predictions.
Correct.
Any funder who is observing the Mao Sampa and the Lubinda camp and the Tonse Alliance Mundubile camp will most probably risk putting money in the Tonse alliance because it looks like it's making progress. This other one hasn't even gone to the convention. These ones, they've gone to the convention and they've elected a leadership that you can see. So someone can even begin to say, let me fund you part, and then we'll see how things go. If you work together, we will release more funds. So really what these guys are doing, they're delaying their own progress, and no funder is going to risk investing in a project that they don't know whether they will even hold the convention or not.
I know this conversation sometimes it may be painful, especially to those in the PF right now. But of course, like Pika, you mentioned that we've been having this conversation from the time the UCA was formed. And I remember the submissions which came from here were that it is high time for the PF members to begin to migrate from the PF and look elsewhere. I remember we mentioned all that here.
Indeed.
Although we are called bit and from the Patriot Front, using their usual arrogance and stuff like that. But now, when you look at expulsion, which has been an expulsion statement, which is circulating right now, coming from the Given Lubinda camp, and also the High Court judgment here, does this bound? And also, ambassadors, you come in. Because what we are being told, according to the press I listened to yesterday from Honorable Jean Kapat and the team, they are saying that they will not allow any member to have a breakaway association or to support any other association apart from the Given Lubinda's camp, because Lubinda remains the legitimate president of the party. Those are the grounds. And Brian Mundubile and the team have been found wanting for associating themselves with another grouping of, I don't know how to call it now. What's the issue? Is Given Lubinda really, acting on authority, or basically it's an illusion?
I think just in
going by this judgment?
Using the words of the speech analysts, you're talking about an organization here that has been barred legally by the courts to use even the documents. So if my aunt, Jean the Baptist, Jean Kapata, says they're going
the
to
physicalist,
the physicalist, because she announced, I was like, whoa, auntie, take it easy. When she announced,
and
it,
that was
says,
wrong,
whatever
by
you
the way.
do, we will even go physical.
Yeah, that was like, wrong. Those were signs of violence.
Exactly.
Let's be blunt about it.
Yeah, in this
you can't be fisting your muscle at the press briefing. You're inciting
TV,
violence.
On national television, you don't do that as a leader.
Yeah.
Because I think what we're taught is that we're supposed, like Henry Kissinger, the great diplomat, said, to Joe is much better than to war. Which is why we sit here every Sunday evening and talk. We just use jaws. We don't go to war, which is what my aunt is doing, and I think that should be avoided. But there is a statement in there, and therein lies the dilemma, where they say that they're going to discipline Brian Mundubile or everybody associated to Brian Mundubile. So I ask realistically, who are they? Where are they based? Do they have a letterhead they're going to write to Brian Mundubile and team? Because the court has said you can't use this. And now we are coming full circle back again, pastors, what you have said. That illusion, let us go back again. Robert Chavinga owns PF with whoever his enablers are. That horse bolted out of Lumumba Road. It is not owned, and it is with a heavy heart that I say this, because I worked under the Patriotic Front government, and I also know the passion that the founding father, President Michael Sata, had, and others after him, such as Edgar Lungu, had in this party. That's why, if you remember, on October 28th, our 60th president said, I don't care about losing my pension. I don't care about you taking away state security, but I cannot sit back and watch you take this away from us. We built it for a purpose. But unfortunately, that has been the grand design by the ruling party to get it. Robert Chavinga has already said they ain't gonna run for president in 2026 on August 13th. They will support President Hakainde Hichilema. to close using the pastor's words, there is somebody who has broke out of the ranks, who has smelled the time. And Brian Mundubile has said the baggage of the PF is too heavy. It is slowing us down. So let us remove the PF and then we get into this Tonse ship. I would have thought for the
To go
life
for
of
plan
me
B.
that you should go for plan B. Perhaps this is even the plan B that President Edgar Lungu was talking about.
Yeah.
That whoever emerges among the equals should be supported by the others, not to be eaten down. It just doesn't make sense 90 days before nomination. But then I could be wrong. I mean, you people here are more intelligent than I am. 90 days? Tell me by IP, how is that going to work out? If you don't even know they're going to hold the convention. 90 days? The courts have said we're going to go the whole 9 yards. We're going to listen in this case until it ends, so that Chavinga and Dingona do not feel.
Honorable Lubinda, it
Yeah.
tells us that they will be holding a convention this month end.
How are they going to be holding that? You tell me, maybe there is something I'm missing.
Is it the one from the elders? There is another convention coming by
another
the
convention.
elders.
Wow.
Or is it the PF convention?
PF?
That kind of confusion.
Wow. But going by the High Court judgment, they are saying there will be no convention. No one should organize a convention under the PF.
Office, if you like. Yeah, they have said that.
Wow.
They will say it's illegal. In fact, I think the judge added that if you see anybody trying to organize, please come to me. The judge is an enabler in this particular one.
Wow.
When does
Judge
the judge...
Limbadi.
Yes. What did Judge Limbadi? This one had Mundubile or something like
Mundubile,
that. Mundubile, yes.
Wow, this one is Judge Limbani.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, when the court actually says we shall help you out on this one, then you just have to focus. He said, we are not going to move with this.
Wow.
That's what Brother Brian Mundubile and his friends did. And just to close up on my side, from what the speech analyst said, those prominent people whose names you read out, they also brought in some cash. They contributed.
Yeah.
So if Honorable Gapianga, Honorable Kampiongo, Honorable Melisian Piri was contributing 10,000 or 5,000 kwacha per month, that is money that is no longer there. It's gone.
Actually, they are the ones that
You've
think
left a
commanding
hole.
the structures.
Exactly.
Because MPs, I
Yeah.
think, in my view,
Yeah.
they command the structures.
Exactly, because we know that they earn about 80,000, 90,000 kwacha per month and stuff like that. So they have, because of their passion, and to use Vapike's word, sentimental attachment to the party, they contribute that much. So when you take away, it doesn't matter whether it's 5,000 kwacha or 10,000 kwacha, you've left a hole. And you do not want that hole 90 days before elections. Again, another one I'm going to steal from the pastor is people with money bags, the big bulging briefcase people, the money men. They do not fund drama. No. They do not fund disorganization. They do not fund noise. There's a saying by IP that money hates noise, which is why even when you go into the bank, there is no Kalindula playing in there. Ndombolo is not in the bank. Money hates noise. It likes to work quietly and organized. Where there is noise, money walks and bullshit. Money moves and bullshit walks.
I want the businessmen or women who support the government of the day.
Strategically. Because strategically, as long as they don't make noise. They don't keep expelling each other, suspending each other, and don't seem to be showing direction as to when the fights are going to come to an end, even when you have a timetable on your hands that says, how many days Bashir said?
As you said, 3 months.
3 months. 90 days. We're running a tight ship here. Yeah? When the saints come marching, what's that song? Picking.
Oh, when the
saints
go
marching.
marching.
Oh, go marching. You check. They don't stop by to wait for the analyst.
No.
Let's finish off let the analyst put on his tie properly. The saints will march with or without you. As the analyst said, Brother Brian has found a way of getting himself on the ballot paper. While
you needed to finish that song.
So when the saints go marching on,
oh Lord, I want to be among the number.
No wonder you. I want to be among the
Yes.
I don't want to remain outside.
No.
We'll pause the singing for now. Let's pause the melody.
It's the Holy Spirit from the past.
I can see that.
Every time he's around, somehow the Holy Spirit just kicks in. You start saying Hallelujah.
Wow. Let's hear from speech analyst, the purported expulsion of these members of parliament, senior members from the PF.
Very sad state of affairs, considering that these expulsions are being announced by someone who is very senior in the PF, whom at this point in time I would consider Madam Jean Kapat and others to be advisors to other young politicians who wants to stand on the PF ticket, because they have been in the opposition and they have also served in government. So if the Zambian people in 2021 did not vote for Mr. Given Lubinda, for instance, did not vote for others, then it means the Zambian people wanted something better, and Mr. Given Lubinda and others could have used this platform to groom other emerging young leaders and give them a backup from behind to say, politically, if you want to win this urban constituency, you have to do the following. I might have not done it, that's why maybe I lost, but you, we're going to support you, and here is what you should do. The same applies to Madam Jean Kapata. Instead of promoting politics of physical confrontation, she should be promoting politics of good packaging of messages ahead of the 2021, the 2026 general elections. Now,
are they not providing direction? I mean, they are there as elders, the senior members of the party, founder members of the party. They will tell you, Given Lubinda will tell you, Jean Kapat and the team, the Salikos and the others will tell you, we are here to provide direction, so we can't allow a breakaway grouping. Maybe that would be their argument.
That could be their argument, but you can see politically that their stance has not been a stance of let the liver to flow, but it has been a stance of being stagnant in one position.
Right.
They have been stagnant. But when you look at the brand Mundubile, the liver is flowing. So they needed to look at that. Let us not be stagnant. Let us flow with the liver and provide the critical political strategy to these young leaders who have emerged as people that can regain the PF maybe in another form, not under the actual patriotic front. Secondly, when you look at the people that have been expelled and the region where they're coming from, these are UPF strongholds. So you cannot take a risk to destabilize your stronghold by expelling Mr. Stephen Campion from Shuangando. That's a PF stronghold. You cannot temper with Kapianga. Mpika. You cannot temper with Nakonde. You cannot temper with the MP from Milanzi and Lunte. These are strongholds. They are household names in these constituencies. So it is folly for the PF to do this at this critical time. You raise the point to say MPs command the structures. Yeah. Because now MPs, some of them, they are looking at it because they want to wait, make sure that the cycle of parliament comes to an end. Then thereafter, they can come up with any decision that they want. Yeah. Because someone out of these that have been expelled can just come up to say, I think I've been like they normally say, after consulting with my family, consulting with my traditional leader and church, my pastor, I've come up with a decision that I should stand on the UPND ticket. That will be the loss, creating a problem in your bedroom, creating a problem in your stronghold. So instead of now babysitting these PFMPs to say don't make another decision of thinking of going independent or going on the UPN ticket, come closer, because we have credible information that if we remain united, we can defeat the UPND in 2026. You know, there are different ways that the UPND can be defeated. They may not win the presidency, but they could win parliament. If you get a lot of members of parliament, you get hold of your strongholds. You don't lose any parliamentary seat. You don't lose any ward. You don't lose any chairperson seat, and consolidate those numbers. That could be a way of governing government, even in opposition. But now they want to kill off everything.
Right, let's move on to another story. Now look at the victory recorded by the United Party for National Development, UPND, in Kasama of Northern Province over the Mearo seat. In that regards, I think it was a highly contested and also tightly contested Mearo seat in Kasama there. And however, at the end of the day, it was the UPND that secured that Mearo seat in the so-called perceived Patriotic Front stronghold. And of course, let's just watch this video. I think I'll call for another video later on, but for now, let's just have some statement coming from the UPND campaign team.
It's an exciting moment. First thing I would want to say that this is one of the moments in my life that shapes me differently. What I would say is that I'm now declared a mayor for Kasama, which I think I have passion for. And I'm telling you that I'm available for the community and I'll be able to serve them better.
Your worship, what will be your short-term plans looking at the fact that we are going to August elections? What will be your short-term assignments to do for the people?
Of the short-term plans, what I would like to say is that Kasama has been reigned in confusion. So what I would say is that I would like to bring sovereignty to Kasama. You know, bring out the point of sanity within Kasama so that we are able to flourish together. There are a lot of wrong things in Kasama. For example, you talk about issues of garbage, issues of roads and street lights and failing to meet the aspirations of the people in terms of service delivery. So I can tell you that within the shortest possible time, which is just 3 months we are talking about in terms of serving as a mayor, I think we'll be able to roll out that program into the next year.
Yes, we know. The time that he'll be there as mayor before the dissolution of parliament is short 3 months. So we just want to thank every resident of Kasama to rally behind this mayor as the doors of opportunities, as the doors of prudent leadership have opened here in Kasama. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, will be coming personally to Kasama very soon to thank the people of Kasama. And also want to thank the political players that participated into this election for being a part of this cause. And as campaign manager, we are very proud. We are thanking everyone, the provincial chairperson, everyone that came on board to campaign peacefully. We abhor violence. We detest indiscipline from anyone else through stone throwing or hacking anyone else. Politics is not a game of insults or exchanging fights. It's about agenda that is good for the development of our country. And this mayor we lobby for support on his behalf from every well-meaning resident of Kasama. His office will be open as State House is open for discussions and engagement.
Beautiful. Let's get into it, PK, the victor of the UPND in Kasama, Central, in that regards at mayoral level. What does it mean?
What this means is if anyone was in doubt of what we are saying here, that is the best lesson. You just have to watch what happened in Kasama for you to say, you know, Vane, so at you wing one say something like that.
Yeah.
So
so it's all about unity.
You can't have Chimba Kambwili, who is on the given Lubinda group, and then you can't have George Sanga, Mtoto Kafwaya, Kampyongo pretend as if
everything is okay.
No, everything is not okay, because you are from different camps. So even if you want to make it cosmetic on that platform there, it's not working because you are pulling in different directions. Yeah. So you can't fault the UPND. That was a unified force with 8 ministers of in the name of
Elvis Nkandu,
Elvis Nkandu,
Elvis
Mulenga
a former
Chipoka,
marketeer.
Chipoka Mulenga,
Elias Mubanga,
Elias Mubanga,
Felix Mutati,
Felix
Whoa.
Mutati.
Including the big man with the money, finance
The
minister.
The Minister of Finance.
He was there.
Plus,
Really?
plus
Yes.
the political schema.
Levin Goma.
You can't fault them
the
for winning
district
that.
commissioners.
Look at how organized they were.
Yeah.
They learned a lesson from Chawama.
Correct.
They didn't give money to say you go and campaign. They held on to the money and
we
said,
will distribute the money personally.
We want to see T-shirts. We want to
Yes.
see motorbikes.
Motorbikes.
They painted the
Kasama.
town red. You can't fault them. Plus, there's hunger there.
Yeah.
Who knows how much was dished out to voters? Who knows? We don't know. But the truth of the matter is there was unity in the UPND camp, there was division in the PF camp. However much you want to mask it, well, Lubinda didn't go to Kasama then.
Yeah.
And the moment Mubanda arrived in Kasama, Chimbagambuli was leaving Kasama. So after you campaign and say all the nice things, who did you want to man the vote and protect it? Your friends, the ministers,
They were there.
didn't move.
Yeah.
They were busy watching their phones, following the announcements from the telling, receiving intelligence, what's happening in that corner, what's happening there. That's how you win an election.
Right.
So, congratulations once again to the UPND for winning Kasama. You are teaching a divided opposition a lesson. I'm
Correct.
talking about a divided opposition. We did a write-up here on our page on KBN, and we said, in all earnest and I mean, if you are going to be very analytical, put the results of the opposition together. The top three, not all of them.
Yeah.
Just the top three.
Yeah, right.
Citizens First, FDD, and the UPPZ. As a matter of fact, UPPZ was a surprise.
Of
They're
course.
doing very well.
Yeah,
course.
it was a
They have
surprise
been very
performance.
consistent.
They beat the Socialist.
Correct.
Socialist Party.
What has gone wrong with SP?
I don't know.
And Dr. Fred Membe?
But what
The
I wanted to
performance has
say,
been dismal. of
what I
late.
wanted to say is
Yeah.
the top three, and Socialist Party is not one of them. Just the top three opposition put their votes together.
Right.
They beat the UPND pants down. Which means, if President Kalaba had said, we are not contesting Kasama, we are going to back the FDD candidate. If Mr.
Charles Chanda.
Charles Chanda said, we will not contest, and they were as a team, all those numbers would have gone to the opposition. That's exactly what they did in Chawama. President Membe didn't contest there. He backed and they won. There he was trying his luck. And it was very humiliating. But I'm happy that at least for him, he has even gone to his page and said, I have learned a lesson.
Correct.
We need to team up
Correct.
and let's swallow our pride.
Yeah.
If the opposition does not do that, and I'm hoping Dr. Membe is not just speaking for the sake of speaking, that we would like to see him call his colleagues in Tonse and say, Abane, if we are People's Pact and the Socialist Party, let's work together. If they don't do that, they will lose. They will lose 2026, and Kasama is a signal.
They will drown together.
Opposition, I look in this camera, and I know you are watching, and I respect you. I don't doubt your judgment, but anything that you are doing outside of putting Zambia in front will be reduced to us understanding that you are putting personal interests first. In this election we are going into, if you do not work together, Citizens First, Socialist Party, People's Pact, United, Tonse Alliance, the Zambia we want, if you do not work together, the UPND unfortunately is winning August 2026. You only stand a chance if you can work together.
Interesting. Ambassador.
Those are deep words from the pastor. I mean, I was about to say amen. I forgot that we were on TV, but I will just repeat, when a wise man has spoken, sometimes you don't reinvent the wheel. And I'm just going to look straight into the camera the way the pastor said, that as long as there is acrimony, as long as there is friction by opposition, as long as Citizens First, Socialist Party, Tonse Alliance, the other parties, everybody, as we saw that united, you won Chawama, and disunited and fragmented and fractious, you lost Kasama. So there is a template already here. Do you want to lick your wounds yet again in 2026, this year, when you are trounced because you just simply failed to gel and work together? Everybody was looking at who, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the finest of them all? I'm more prettier than the other one. People, democracy needs you, and democracy always needs strength. The democracy we experienced there under President Edgar Lungu, may his soul rest in peace. He remains frozen in South Africa, but we enjoyed that democracy and the give and take and the fights because UPND was strong. Despite losing several times, they still kept coming. But if you are going to lose track of what Pastor Kennedy Mambwe has said and decide to go your way, there's only two options: the Chawama result and the Kasama result. You are talking about the strength of 8 cabinet ministers, all district commissioners, and a lot of moolah, a lot of cash. The chickens found their slaughterhouse in Kasama, and people were beginning to have 3 meals per day. I know it's very difficult to do that in a general election.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well.
Yeah, you can't deploy the Minister of Finance
in one region.
Yes, that time it will be God for all, and each one for each one. But all the same, you do not take a wild chance.
Right.
Just unite. Then the KBN TV editorial was clear. The number of votes put together for Chawama, the opposition lost. The opposition won. Yeah. The ruling party lost. Yeah. If you had put that, but they still won miraculously. Yeah. In Kasama, it was different. They got the lesson from Chawama, and they said, we are not taking any chances. In fact, we have no chances. So we are going in, we are putting in everything that we've got, to use the speech analysts term. We are coming into your bedroom and we are eating your lunch.
Wow.
And that's what
I'll still come back to you. Let's hear from a speech analyst, the UPND victory or win in Kasama. What does it mean?
Well, congratulations to the UPND, but I want to give a certain narrative. From the time the PF started using special purpose vehicles against the UPND, out of 4 parliamentary by-elections, the PAF has won 2. The UPND has won twice. So you could see that it is a tie. Let me give you
it's workable somehow.
It's workable somehow because the first test was done in Petaoke.
Correct.
The NCP, using that alliance, they won against the UPND, even if they will say, no, that was not our seat. Anyway, then we moved on to Lumezi.
They lost.
They lost. But again there, you remember, it was a time when there was the funeral of our late President Edgar Lungu. They lost that one. We went into Mfuwe.
Correct.
Again, they lost. They didn't lose badly, but they lost.
A loss is a loss.
Yes. We came to Chawama. We came to Chawama under a special purpose vehicle, FDD. They won. So what are the lessons? The lessons are that the general public, the members of the PF, they have understood the message from their leaders to say the PF will not be on the ballot, but we are using this special purpose vehicle, NCP or the FDD. Those are very, very important lessons. They are important lessons because they are also demystifying this political messaging that the UPND wants to feed Zambians, that there is no opposition. Actually, there is opposition. Zambians are listening to say, oh, our PF, which we so loved, has been destabilized,
What's the
whether
alternative?
internally or externally. But they are listening to the message of their leaders. So, meaning, if the opposition united, as Ambassador said and PK has said, they stand a very strong chance to challenge at the presidential level and at parliamentary level, including local government by-elections. So, actually, even the general elections, they stand a very strong chance. Now, one of the biggest advantages of this opposition remaining united, in the event that President Hakainde Hichilema fails to meet the threshold at presidential level of 50% plus one, and in second may become Mundubile or Harikalaba or who else may be there, I don't know. Fred Membe or KBF or Makebi Zulu. In the likelihood that President Hakainde Hichilema fails, the opposition stands a chance to beat President Hakainde Hichilema, because what they will do, they will say, actually, you and I were brothers. We are in the same boat. So why not tell your supporters, the way we've been doing in these parliamentary elections, say, oh, now we are changing gear, vote for this person. The UPND and their political alliances who have no chance. Tell me of any political alliance of the UPND that has been participating in by-elections.
None.
So you see, so this is how, if these political oppositions began to unite, as Fred Member said,
and they rally behind
one candidate, then they can win.
Right.
I'll conclude by saying, look, in Kasama, UPPZ was doing very well. They can say, instead of all of us converging, let's give UPPZ, because UPPZ looks to be having strong structures. Then they'll capture UPPZ, they'll capture whatever election that will be happening at that level. So this is how critical the political landscape is in Zambia. Whenever you tell the voters to say, do this, they will do it. They are just waiting for the PF leaders to humble themselves and rally behind one candidate.
Let's just play this clip again of Honorable Swongile Mwamba in Kasama area. Of course, this is a person, she's a member of parliament under the PF, but she did work hand in hand with the UPND and endorsed a UPND candidate. Let's watch the video.
I wish to thank the general public for coming out in numbers to come and support the candidature of the UPND mayoral candidate by Symposia. A win is always a plus. It was not easy. This is an opposition stronghold, but then today it shows that politics is not about tribe. Politics is about the way forward. This will also ensure that the people of Kasama get more from the national cake as we put the mayor of the UPND into our system. The Kasama municipality has been predominantly patriotic front, so we've had a few challenges here and there, but now that we have someone from the ruling party, I feel things will work better and move better. And I also wish to actually thank the public for having confidence to vote for Mr. Symposia, who will lead us as the mayor of Kasama district. He is a man of his word, a man of action, and I think I'll be very pleased to work with him as well as the area member of parliament for Kasama Central constituency. In life, I wish to also thank God for making it possible for this to come to pass. Everything has a time and a season, and this is the time for Mr. Symposia to be in office. I also wish to wish him well, and I once again wish to tell the people of Kasama Central constituency that as your leader, I am here to offer the best choice and the best opportunity in line with what the UPND policies have, which are good policies. We have to implement CDF, which each and every ward in my constituency has benefited. So I will go the extra mile with the mayor so that we can ensure that we deliver everything that has not been made possible. There's many other areas that we'll look into, which I will not take time to mention now, but I can assure you that Kasama will never be the same again. We shall do our best to ensure that the people get the best out of what they voted for. And for the political parties that did not make it during this election, I also wish to congratulate them for taking part in the election. Politics is merely a game, but at the end of the day, let us all culminate into one thing. We are one people, people of Kasama Central, people of Kasama District. So let us just put on our working shoes, let us work together. My office is open, my door is always open.
All right, let's get into it. PK, your quick take. I played this video just in comparison to what has happened to the members of parliament under PF who have been expelled, because according to the justification coming from the given Lubinda camp is that these MPs associated themselves with a different camp, according to them. Now, when you look at Siwongile Mwamba there, she also openly associated herself with the UPND, and she was wearing a UPND regalia. So this, if you ask me, it entails that how powerless Honorable given Lubinda is. And I'll justify this further. If you remember, there was a time at which members of parliament like Andrew Luwusha, we talk about a last Dhaka from Eastern Province, during the Lumezi by-election, they came out and supported a UPND candidate, openly so. That was another association which the given Lubinda camp would have described as illegal. And
But
they should have.
I think they were expelled, those.
Yeah. There was something in those lines. Yes.
So let's pause there. So if they were expelled, have they been expelled? Have we held a convention?
No, the matter is who is the legitimate president.
Correct. There you go.
So Siwongile was just being mischievous. She knows that Lubinda cannot discipline her
Yeah.
because he's not a legitimate president recognized by law, whether legally or illegally.
Yes.
Who holds the pen?
Yes,
The
but
Lubwa.
this is where leadership distinguishes people who are true leaders and clowns.
Yeah.
Siwongile knows which party sponsored her
Simple.
into parliament. And her consciousness as a member of parliament, as a lawmaker, needed for her to stand with the sponsoring political party.
Yeah.
Now, to take advantage of the
weaknesses.
legal jargons that are surrounding this, and you identify yourself with a mighty instead of being on the weak team, tells you that she's not a leader worth supporting. She doesn't deserve to be called a member, honorable member of parliament. There is no integrity that the pastoral letter talked about. There is no morality that the pastoral letter talked about. Those are the people that you should never look at coming into 2026 August. Don't vote for people like Siwongile. They don't represent the people of Kasama who voted. I mean, I vote for you on this ticket. You go there and change and say, oh, you made a mistake. I am not with you. I am with them.
Oh my God.
That's basically what it's a slap in the face of the voters. So that's lack of morality, it's lack of integrity. I wouldn't even fault Mr. Lubinda on this one because she knows that he's weak. He doesn't have the legal basis and premise on which to fire.
So thank you. So I've gotten the last point. Lubinda is weak.
Indeed.
And those are facts. He can't penalize anyone with PF.
Well, he's weak not because he wants. He's weak.
He's been weakened
Someone
by
has
the system.
weakened him. They've taken away the power from him, and now people want to take advantage of that. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Correct. I get you. So the question is then, PK, if that is the, and you are right, you are correct. Why wasn't she penalized together with the
14 that
the
you
14
just
people
Yes,
have mentioned?
yes. In that regard,
Yes.
you have a point.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to say these ones rebelled,
Yes.
why are you allowing a member of parliament who identifies herself with you, but
visibly so,
donning opposition, ruling party regalia, and you still maintain her? Wasn't she supposed to be on the list of
the 14?
Of the
Because
14?
she also associated with
Exactly.
the so-called legal...
Yes.
So with her, it's actually quite clear she associated with the ruling party.
Yes.
It's an open and shut case.
But obviously, someone might argue to say she was already expelled because remember, all those who voted for Bill 7 were expelled, and she is one of them. So you can't keep expelling her when you're already expelled.
Yeah. But also, even if those were expelled, those who voted for Bill 7 were already expelled. The question is, where are we? That expulsion has been nullified by, or overlooked, maybe. That's the word I can use.
Wow.
But look, this is the orchestration of those who are sponsoring the Chavinga grouping. And they're enjoying it wherever they are.
They designed and wrote this script.
Yes, they are happy.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to be very cautious not to heap blame entirely on they had their part to play, the PF, in all of this. They had their part to play because they delayed to go to the convention.
Isn't that a lesson now to the Jinka Pata grouping to know that I think we are powerless. We have tried everything.
I talked about
we don't seem to be winning here.
I talked about reading the mood. And I'll go back to what I said some months back. I said Professor Lungwangwa and Belem,
yes,
and another man,
Charles Kakoma.
They didn't read the mood the same way
they misread.
The Jinka Pata are not reading the mood.
Yeah.
They thought by coming and dressing in the green regalia, then they will win. No, they didn't know that
they miscalculated.
They miscalculated.
Yeah.
The Jinka Pata team, this thing of it has to be me or no one at all is what is going to kill them. To be honest, if you ask me as an independent analyst, the ambassador said the horse has bolted. The mandate is not in the hands of the Jinka Pata. However much you keep saying, if people have decided you're not the one, you are not the one. And I want to repeat what I said last time. This wind is going the Brian Mundubile way. Like it or not, you expel them or what? Suspend them or what? That is not giving you the legitimacy. That's why all the people that you expelled, they still cannot recognize your power. They voted for Bill 7 even when you said 3-point what? What do they call it?
Planning system of some sorts.
3-whip point or something like that. It's a jargon. They overlooked it. They voted against it. Bill 7, and you still look. You look. Irrelevant. Even in this matter, if the given Lubinda faction do not see that things have moved, they are weakening themselves, and in fact, they are surrendering power more and more to the Brian Mundubile team.
Ambassador, quickly, the Siwongile issue.
I think
less than a minute, please.
Belabor that.
Yeah.
There's a saying that President Barack Obama would say, if it walks like a duck, it clucks like a duck, then it is a duck. So yes, as the pastor has already explained, we can't belabor anymore.
Right.
She's not PF. Yeah, she's, walks like a duck, dresses like a duck, she's a duck.
Right. Comrade, speech analyst.
I think my take is that
no morality, no integrity in that.
I did write something on my personal page where I said this is mocking the people who voted for you to be an MP. Remember, she was coming from a privileged position where the father had been a member of parliament in that region, and also a big wig in the UPND. So she might have pushed away other credible PF members who wanted to stand for that seat, and she got that seat probably on a silver platter. So sometimes these privileged politicians, we don't need them because they look at things from a different perspective. So for me, I'm thinking Madam Mwamba is looking at this turn of events to say the UPND actually pardoned my father from prison. So I cannot bite them, because if they did not pardon my father would probably have been in prison even now. So she's giving back to what the UPND gave back to her family to have the father away from prison.
Pardoning
But-
someone is not should not be deemed as a favor.
But that's what
those are
it is.
prerogative powers.
But that's what it is in politics.
Unless if you lack morality, you see that in those lenses.
That's why I did say earlier to say, most government institutions, they work with the government of the day, including the judiciary. There are certain UPF members today who've got certain cases. It's just a matter of time to push them before court, but those cases are not coming, and you expect these PF members not to vote with the PF, but to vote with someone who holds the instruments of power.
Right. All right, let's quickly close. Time is not with us. I hope we can spend 3 minutes, 1 minute each, and then we close. Let's look at the Electoral Commission of Zambia refuting the fake new rules over presidential candidate certification. I mean, there was a story yesterday which was all over social media suggesting that the Electoral Commission of Zambia has issued a statement indicating that for all the presidential candidates who wants to file in their nominations this year at presidential level, they will have to need to have their names certified via the Registrar of Societies. But that was seen to be fake news. So please, that was fake news. Bigger, quickly.
So IP, here is a dilemma.
Yeah.
While it is that the ECZ has clarified and disowned that, I'm worried that that is you know, a fabricated story, number one. But my concern is not that it is fabricated.
Right.
My concern is that someone would sit down and actually craft something that fits within the political narrative of the time.
Right.
That is my biggest concern. And what am I saying when I say the political narrative of the time? You have a PF that has been grabbed. Therefore, if people from the PF are going to stand on any other party, it has to be a party that adopts them, co-opts them. You have seen Peter Chanda says, I have given my party to Makebi Zulu. Then you have seen given Lubinda, I mean, you've seen Chifu Mubanda say, I work with Brian Mundubile as president. Now, when you have these things happening, and then you have someone sit down to author that in the name of ECZ, you clearly see that there is an intention intended to influence the thinking at ECZ or to influence the thinking at the Registrar of Societies. That is the end game. Forget about the fact that it was forged and what. The truth of the matter is the person who sat down had an intention already in mind.
Evil intentions for that.
Very evil intention. And it is good that the ECZ quickly disowned it. But it will be very unfortunate if to see next time the ECZ backpedals to come and implement the very thing that they've denied. It will be very unfortunate. But we hope they will stick to what they have said. That is very, very unfortunate, someone to fabricate a sensitive matter of that nature.
We hope so. Ambassador, quickly within a minute.
Quickly, within a minute, it was a very good fake. It turned out to be fake. That's a great thing, but it also raises red flags, as the pastor has said. It fits perfectly into the narrative that we have, and we should be having that narrative right now. We should be heading towards the 90 days coming in front of us, resolute and united.
Right. Comrades, quickly.
We have the cyber crimes law. I would expect institutions such as ZICTA to move in and begin to arrest people who are behind such publications, including social media platforms that are bringing about propaganda, attacking individuals, and so on and so forth. Because as we go towards the general elections, such practices are going to be on the rise. But what is interesting again to this matter, if you recall, Mao Sampa had been going to the Registrar of Societies to have the names of the PF changed. The Registrar of Societies has never attended to him. Those are some of the questions that members of the public need answers. Because if the court had ruled in favor of Mount Samba to change the names of office bearers at the Registrar of Societies. Why did that not happen? So it is also interesting because that may not be something that a lot of people are expecting. But indeed, issues of peddling lies should not be condoned because they have got a potential to create discontent and to create mistrust and loss of public confidence in institutions such as the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Because where we are going, Zambians expect credible elections.
Right. Thank you so much, PK, for coming through. We hope to be back next week.
Thank you, IP, and I'm hoping our discourse has added value to the Zambian political landscape.
Ambassador, I appreciate you as well.
Thank you very much to you, IP, for hosting us well, as you always do. And to our viewers out there right here in Zambia and abroad, we hope we did add a little bit of, wisdom to the discourse going on right now as we cruise 90 days towards August 13th.
It's going to be heated.
It's going to be crazy out there.
Comrade Mike Sichula, thank you so much for coming through as well.
Thank you, IP, for the opportunity, and thank you to our dear viewers on KBN and other social platforms for giving us the feedback and also for following our proceedings. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Allow me to appreciate you as well for watching the program this evening. We'll be back again next week with some other topics that will be up for discussion. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.